What is going on, guys? Bloominsoon here, and welcome back to another video. Now, today I want to talk to you guys about the current cost of a video game. Now, this is a different topic to what I usually talk about, but I didn't really find that there was anything I could really discuss in terms of general video games, and this has been something that's been on my mind for quite some time. Now, I'd like to show you some gameplay of The Division, but I haven't got the game. Hopefully I will at some point, because I do want to play that, but it does slightly come into today's topic. As I said before, today's topic is the cost of video games. There's been a large trend at the moment of video games suddenly increasing in price. I seem to remember it happening 2011 onwards. Games started to seriously pick up in price, and we started to realise, oh, hang on, we can't buy like most of the games we want to get now. And I think one of the reasons for this is a large trend in multiplayer, a large increase in the amount of games with multiplayer. And it has become a thing where games will only include a multiplayer. It used to be you could buy a game, get a single player, which was the main focus of the game, and the multiplayer was another aspect of it. But it has become now that games will just outright forget a single player and only include a multiplayer. Now, one problem a lot of people have with this, and personally I do as well, is the fact that the game costs as much as it would if it had both of them. Now you might say, oh, with the effort they put into the single player, they then put into the multiplayer. But if you consider Rainbow Six Siege, which is $39.99 standard edition, that's pounds, and then $54.99 special edition in pounds again, and that translates to $56.99 and $77.99 for the standard and special editions. Now, that might not sound outrageous, but if you consider the fact that those two costs are what it used to be for a high-end multiplayer game with a single player, the fact that Rainbow Six Siege is only a multiplayer game, despite the fact how good I think it is, and the fact that I really do recommend that you buy the game, it is absurdly expensive for what it just is, which is a multiplayer game. Now you might say, oh, they have to make their money. Yeah, sure, they have to make the money, but at the same time, they still have to have a fan base, and I would kind of agree with them if they released the game at $35, but the fact that they did release it at the full asking price of $40, which again, is what it used to be for a multiplayer and single-player game, is quite shocking to me. And now, another example I'll give is The Division, which literally came out 2 or 3 days ago. And the cost of the game is $39.99 for the standard edition, that is $59.99. And now you might say, oh, that's a big game, it's an open world game, but just over it. The main issue I've heard from the moment for that game is the fact that it's lacking and there isn't actually much to do inside the game. You finish the game, that's it. And that's the exact same problem with Destiny as well. The fact that I was one of the people that actually did this. You buy 2 copies of Destiny within a sense. If you bought Destiny Standard and then The Taken King, you had to buy the game all over again. So they basically sold the game twice. Although, yeah, sure, The Taken King was slightly cheaper, it is quite shocking they did that. And like I said before, with The Division, it is apparently a very lacking game that you do this, and that's it, it's done. Now, personally for me, in terms of getting my money back when playing a game, as long as I play the amount of hours that it costs me, so if it costs me 50 quid, I'll play 50 hours, that's value for money. I also have to have entertainment. If I didn't enjoy my time doing it, or I didn't get something from it, then it's a waste of money for me. And a good example I want to give again is also of another very recently released game, and Hitman. Now, first of all, I said it before, I'm a huge fan of the Hitman series, but what they've recently done is release technically 3 different copies of the same game, with a paid demo being one of them. Now, it is slightly stretching it saying paid demo, but they have the 3 different versions they have are a full experience, which is the game and everything with access to all the maps that come out. Oh yeah. When you buy the game, it doesn't come with everything that's going to be in it. They're going to update it with more levels, more missions to do, and there's very, very little to do apparently in the standard game currently. But the intro pack, which is only 11 quid, will get you the first level and the second level, as well as access to the multiplayer, which is reasonable. But again, that's 11 quid for that. That's quite shocking, honestly. Again, that's basically like a paid demo with access to multiplayer. It'd be fine if they gave you 5 or 10 minutes to access multiplayer, maybe a couple of days. But the fact that they give you full access to multiplayer with then just this game, and also then to get the full game, you can either buy the full game again or use the upgrade pack, which will get you the full game access on top of the intro pack. Honestly, I think this is a terrible model, and I really don't want to see video games go down this path. Another issue we are seeing is, of course, yearly games. One huge complaint of a lot of games is the fact they bring out the same game every year for the exact same cost. If you consider that, yearly releases would be at £40+ or $60+ and that sounds reasonably okay, again, for a game if we say multiplayer and single player. But if you consider then, most games do come with a season pass. So the fact that you buy the game and then have to go up and maybe spend another 40 quid for the season pass. So say you buy Battlefield 4, which was, I believe, 40 quid. I managed to cheap it and get it for 35 when it came out. And then if you want to get the season pass for all the content, you have to pay an extra £40 on it. So there you go, 75 quid. Of course, if I didn't actually get a cheap version, that would be £80 overall. And for the US, it's $60 plus then another $60. So it's $120 for a full complete game. Within a way, I think season passes are okay, mainly because they do actually allow you to get the DLC reasonably cheaper than it would be paid for each one, and I don't think it's that sort of evil, although I do think occasionally it can split up a community. I think what's even worse, and what is killing the community quicker, are micro DLCs. Now you might say, well hang on, how's it killing the community? I do agree, technically it's not, but the fact that it's, you know, introducing tons of camos and saying, oh yeah, buy this camo, buy this camo, buy this camo for £2-3 might not sound like a lot, but when it all adds up, it does actually come to quite a considerable price. And that's not just with camos and stuff, it's also with characters. It's instantly, Division came out, the day it came out, I believe it had 5 character or 5 skin packs for the game, which is shocking, on day release that was. And if you consider again that a long time ago games would come out and they'd be again £40, $60, and then you want to pay for the season pass, go ahead and get the season pass as well. That is it. You know, they've added so many stuff now that you don't feel like you need to get them, but at the same time you're thinking, do I miss out if I don't get this or that? So it is actually quite of a interesting idea. I'm pretty much against 100%. And another issue, like I said before, I didn't quite finish it, is the yearly games. So Call of Duty never changes, even though I love those games, they never change yearly, but they're always the £40, $60. FIFA's the same, Assassin's Creed, multiple other sports games, and to some degree, Battlefield. The fact that Hardline came out as a full game, which first of all wasn't finished in terms of the game not working, and in terms of it being more like a DLC than an actual, you know, single game on its own. Now, this is overall not a huge problem. There are much bigger issues currently in the gaming community, but it is something I would like to see changed maybe. I kind of wish it would go back to the 40 for the game, 40 for the season pass, and that is it. Nothing else about micro DLCs or anything along those lines. I kind of hope one day we'll go back to that, or at least, you know, we'll see something similar to it. I really hope they don't go down the lines of the Hitman, you know, 3 different versions for the same game, one that is basically a paid demo. That being said though, there are still tons of games out there that are slight, quiet indie games that are still fantastic. Insurgency is very cheap, I believe, £15 to £35 I think, which is actually, again, it is a multiplayer game, so it's a bit of a question if you do actually get it or not. But personally, I pay £50 for £15 for Insurgency. But overall, I just think there's a slight issue at the moment with the cost of video games. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's sort of a bit ranty, it's just on my mind the whole time. If you agree with me, tell me down in the comments any other ideas, or tell me how you feel down below in the comments in general. So until then guys, Blue Monsoon, out.